Four, three, two, one.
All right, guys, we're sending
Blog
data to the
Talk
internet.
Radio.
We're sending data to the internet. So, guys, let us know if you can hear H.A. Goodman.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear H.A.? So I got like a couple to see. It's coming through with us. There we go. There, I see us. This better be muted. It's muted, okay. And let's check.
Can you hear me?
I got this daggone scissor arm on this microphone in the way. Okay, so I got some people in the chat. Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat?
Yes, they can hear. They can hear.
Oh, yeah, we see and hear you, Tim and H.A. Okay, well, the hell, man. Look, we got to go through our ritual. Let me give it this music. Hold up. Freaking elevator music, man. Hold tight, man. Where is that music? Oh, you know what? We'll do this. There you go. Oh, thank you. How are you? All right, guys, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of the favorite show of Eric and my man Fred. It's No Sellouts with Tim Black and H.A. What's up, H.A.?
Tim Black, what's up?
Man, I'm just trying to stay alive, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I want to make a difference, and I want to defeat Trump, so I'm writing a check to the Democratic National Committee after this show because I know that they're very trustworthy, and their primaries run from a neutral standpoint. The chairperson is always neutral. Of course, I'm being facetious.
Of course.
And I mean, Tim, I gotta show you something, and I gotta tell everybody here in No Sellouts. I had the great pleasure of publishing Zach Haller, who is a really, really awesome journalist, and he published an article on Counterpropa, and it is already just from last night. The article title is 7 Jaw-Dropping Revelations from Hearings on the Motion to dismiss the DNC Fraud Lawsuit. Just from last night. It's 21,109 shares on Facebook.
There it is. I like to think in some way I had a hand in that because I did retweet that tweet.
You did?
Yeah, because I follow Zach. Zach follows me. And since the primaries, Zach's been a real cool guy, man. A true speaker, man. So that's great about the article, man. What's up? Let's talk about it.
He's an amazing article. I'll just really quickly read the 7 revelations. The crux of the motion to dismiss asserts the judge is not in a position to determine how the Democratic Party conducts its nominating process. But that's funny because the DNC lawyers know very well it's not about the judge telling them what to do. It's about the judge ensuring that they don't cheat people out of money. There's a reason that Debbie Wasserman Schultz didn't say, yeah, by the way, we already picked Hillary. Go ahead and give us money. Because, if she said that, she wouldn't have gotten a dime from anyone.
Right.
The whole thing would have been, completely a farce, which is what it was. The Democratic Party views itself as having the authority to favor a candidate without any legal repercussions. That's number 2. And so we hear that from the lawyers. They're saying, oh, well, we don't know. We can't really define what impartial means. And, it's a political party. So they can make up their own rules. They're a private entity. Meanwhile, they're saying that they were hacked by Russia and they want everyone to, they want the government to impose sanctions and everything. So they're all over the place. Judge Zlock appeared skeptical, noting the Democrats' interest to obscure the guarantee of the party's impartiality clause. So there is an impartiality clause within the the DNC's charter. It's stating that, they have to be impartial. If they have a Democratic primary, it's democracy. 2 people are running, or 3 people, or 5 people. And the best candidate goes up against Trump. With the Democrats, they pick the worst candidate. Yeah,
absolutely. That's the big difference between the Republicans, and they don't have superdelegates on the Republican side either, do they, H.A.?
No, and exactly. That's a great point. And the Democrats insist that impartial cannot be defined. So the DNC's impartiality clause is akin to a political promise that it cannot be guaranteed. So impartial. I mean, what do you really mean by that? What do you really mean by neutral?
Yeah, what does impartial mean? Impartial means you don't favor anybody over anyone else. It's impartial. It's above board. It's ethical. It's fair. It's just. It's without corruption. It's not the DNC's way of the way they do business.
Exactly. And exactly. And DNC's legal counsel appeared unaware of any procedures in place to determine how the DNC supports state parties as they conduct individual primary nominating contests. That's 5. Number 6 is the Democrat lawyers take the position that while the Democrats are not legally obligated to conduct the primary fairly, they did in fact conduct the 2016 primary fairly. So they're saying, it's kind of like a person going to his or her significant other saying, I didn't cheat on you, but if I did, I was justified. So
wow. No, it's saying that if you think I cheated on you, no, it's like saying, okay, if I cheated on you, no, it's like, yeah, I cheated on you, but there's no way that you can really know if I cheated on you because what I did really wasn't cheating. But if you think it was cheating, it doesn't matter because I have no reason not to cheat because there's no rule that says I couldn't cheat. It's like really weird. Like we had an open relationship. We never had a conversation. But then, that type of weird stuff, man. But what number is that, H.A.? That was 5?
That's 6. And then 7 is, in closing remarks, the U.S. federal court district judge emphasized democracy demands the truth.
Ow,
yeah.
Ow, that's the big one, baby. That's the one, you know what I'm saying?
That's the big one.
That's the one that has me feeling encouraged, man, by this whole process. Makes me have a little, a little optimism, a little bit.
I don't think this judge wants to go down in history as the one judge that allowed the Democratic Party to continue its corruption forever. I think that, the money changed hands, Tim. So there was the deception was there to get that money. Even if the DNC lawyers somehow, weasel their way into, well, it's, a political party and da-da. There's a reason she lied. And the reason is, if she were to tell the truth that Wasserman Schultz was on to Brazil, nobody would give money. They wouldn't have raised $1.2 billion. They wouldn't have raised even half that amount. Absolutely. Not even a third of that amount.
Definitely. And surely Barney wouldn't have raised that type of money.
Yeah. And,
Because people need to know there's like 3 parts of this, right, H.A.? So I know 2. One is Democrats who gave to the DNC can be a part of this lawsuit. And then we have people who gave, or donors who also gave, donors who gave to Bernie Sanders. So it's donors for the DNC, donors for Bernie Sanders. And I think there's donors to something else. What is that? There's a third. I forget the third pillar, but there's 3 pillars to it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, but
it's important. Yeah, my bad. I'm just thinking it's important for people to realize this is not just Bernie Sanders supporters. If you are just a Democrat who may not have voted for anyone because you didn't like who was running, you may still sue. I mean, all of this is not about monetary damages. It's also about them lying to you because they have what they call, the fiduciary responsibility.
Oh, yeah, fiduciary responsibility. So they have to go ahead and they're accepting money. They have to make sure that they take care of that money, and they have to make sure that they don't engage in any foul play because they're holding on to all this. So Bernie raised a little over $228 million.
Yeah. It's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I did one YouTube segment. DNC stole $228 million from Bernie voters. And they did. And they did, it's really sad too, and it's really, effed up, and it's really nefarious, and it's disgusting because, here I am, and millions of people and everybody watching on No Sellouts, and, we really thought that there was a fair chance, in America, where we would like to think one of our ideals is just a fair fight. Just give me a fair fight. Even if I lose, I want to know that I have the potential to win. Mm-hmm. And if I try my best, we're always taught in our country, if you try your best in America, you can do it. You can make it. And we're always taught, talent and hard work will get you anywhere. And Bernie Sanders had this. I mean, even a bird, even like nature, started flying towards Bernie, and of course they crapped all over Tom Perez. Very fitting.
But you're right though, H.A. When you say it goes back to that American nationalism, American pride, patriotism. Nationalism is really nasty, but patriotism, and it's actually a fallacy, man. We think that this country stands for certain ideals, and how we have the Democratic Party, which is like one of the legs. God, there's two legs. Yeah, two legs of the body, which is our democracy, telling you, hey, man, we don't owe you a duty to give you a fair election in the primaries. That's a horrible, that's a horrible revelation. And to the people that are out there who are still championing, still heel-botting, still shilling, if they were to know this, which they won't know because they watch A.M. Joy and Chris Hayes instead of H.A. Goodman and Tim Black, so they may never know. But if they were ever to become aware that the DNC says, hey, we can do whatever we want to do, basically, and you have no recourse, and shame on you for thinking you do, they would wake up, but they don't know yet.
And they don't know. And also, I'll tell you, Tim, there's really nothing. That's why I say they're part of a cult. Hillary Clinton supporters and Democratic Party supporters, it's no longer a political party, because you can leave a political party. You can actually, the one thing conservatives do is they insult their political party and they insult different people. But if you're a Democrat, it's almost like you sign this loyalty oath. You cannot say that they're horrible. And it's really the people who gave, their heart and soul, and you gave money to Bernie Sanders. These are the people that are really caring about what happens, because I just hope that this judge does the right thing for history. Sometimes you got to think about your place in history. Sometimes you got to think about, well, if I act this way, what happens? What are my kids going to think, or what are future generations going to think? This judge in this lawsuit, he has the power to really end the corruption, at least not dismiss the case,
or at least in the blatant, I'm out here in front of the world corruption. This is this is the little things behind the scenes, and you're like, what, God, like you go into the store, it says sale, but it really wasn't a sale. Really, it was marked up, and now it's the price it should have been. That's corruption. But this is you pay for your stuff, and then they take it out the bag as you walk out the door and tell you to keep it moving, buddy. Keep it moving. So, look, H.A., I'm so glad
let's get some calls. Yeah,
I'm glad you started with this. I just want everybody to know. Tomorrow, Jared Beck will be on my show tomorrow to discuss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
He's the man.
He's
the man.
So I wish we could hook up a three-way conversation, man, because that'd be great to bring you in, H.A. But anyway, tune into that. Let's go to the phone calls, man. And we got a 772 number in his house. Hey, 772, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Hey, Tim. Hey, AJ. It's Eric. How's it going?
Eric.
Good. What's your question, Eric?
I'm trying to think. A question.
Or a statement.
I don't really have any questions this week, though, but I want to give out my quick shout-outs to everybody. You, Tim, for doing an amazing job. H.A. for doing an amazing job. The Wolf Pack for doing an amazing job. And everyone in the chat and all the moderators. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And always keep up the good work.
Man,
we love you. We love you, Eric. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Keep it real.
Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you, man. Eric is a great supporter of the show, man. Thank you, Eric.
He's a great guy.
He is, man. He gets the word out big time. I got an anonymous phone call, but I'm gutsy because I'm gonna take it anyway. Hey, who's this? You're live on the No Sellouts with H.A. Goodman. Hola.
Right, move. Go. Okay.
Give him a couple of ticks. Sound like somebody got caught doing something. Taking the dog out or something. Hey. All right, I'm gonna let it go.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, wait.
I almost lost you, man. Who's this?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Vaughn. I was helping my wife carry a bag of rice and dog food.
Did you? I knew it's like we caught you as soon as you were doing that, man. But did you have a question, man? We were talking about the DNC, the lawsuit. H.A. and I don't know if you heard that.
I know. Just so you're aware, people on Blog Talk still can't hear H.A., but we can hear you.
Yeah, on the radio, on the phone. Yeah, we know.
Yes. in regards to HA's earlier comment about trying your best in America, I don't know about HA or you, but I grew up with a brother who's very competitive, ambitious, and he would even cheat to beat me at games and sports, whatever. But instead of just not playing or cheating to beat him back, I would just work harder and train harder and got so much better to beat him. And my question to you and HA is that the effort that we should do to beat the DNC and all these corruptions in politics, or do we just fight and cheat our way into just beating them? I mean, what's your take on it? Do we have to win the right way, or do anything we can just to get them out? That's it. Sorry.
It's a great question.
That's a great
That's
question.
a great question.
Bond Kim, man, I tell you, Bond, you are something else, brother. HA, I'll let you have at that first, man.
That's an amazing question. And I think it's a very profound philosophical dilemma or question. The Democratic Party, the first thing they care about is money. So they don't even care about winning or value system. Because think about it. Donna Brazile, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, they were disgraced, but they still have their seats, they still have their positions, or they still have their ranking within the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton lost. She lost $1.2 billion, but nobody is blaming her. So the Democratic Party isn't about winning, and it's not about value system, because we already know, from Tom Perez all the way to Hillary Clinton's Iraq vote, it's not about value system. First and foremost, for Democrats, it's about money. But if you want to win, in my view, if you have a progressive viewpoint, all you have to do, you don't have to cheat. You just have to do what Bernie did, or what Jill Stein did, or what Nina Turner does, or what Tulsi Gabbard does. And all they do is focus on big, bold ideals. And that you don't even have to do anything. Like, for example, Tulsi Gabbard went to Syria, met with Assad, tried to find a peace deal, some kind of way to stop the bloodshed so we don't have to have yet another war. And of course she got, the hit pieces, and she got pushback, and people hated it, and all this stuff. But that builds her prestige, that builds her image among people like you and me and everybody watching. So you don't have to. I really,
right.
I think that's an amazing question. You don't have to cheat. You just have to pick ideals that people that Nancy Pelosi thinks are unattainable.
Right.
And that's all you have to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna co-sign what H.A. Goodman just said, and I'll just add a couple analogies. I remember a joke that Chris Rock did a few years ago. I think it was one of his tours. I forget the name, but he said, I don't think it's right to look so harsh on drug dealers, because drug dealers, they just supply what people want. You don't have to sell weed. You don't have to be like, yo, hey, how you doing? And look, this is some stuff. You smoke it, and you'll get a buzz. And drug dealers don't do that. They don't have to sell it. You know why they don't have to sell weed? They're just there to do the transaction. That's because weed sells itself. And to prop up a little bit what H.A. was saying, I feel the same way about the ideals when we talk about populists, when we talk about messages and bold policies. That sells itself. So you don't have to really sell it, and you don't have to do anything underhanded like H.A. said, because it's going to create a market. The market's already there, and the market is huge. If truth and honesty and realness and supporting the people, for the people, by the people was a brand, it would be through the roof. It would be a Facebook or Google, a Walmart, all put together, because that's how successful that brand would be. You understand what I'm saying? So, but the only problem are the impediments. So we don't have to cheat. We just have to knock down the impediments to what's actually being on that field and getting some type of fair treatment. But as far as the race, Bond, nah, bro. We don't have to cheat.
And one thing also, Ebon brought up something really, really profound. He got better he didn't cheat, and he just got better by working harder and training harder. But that version in politics is ideals. That's the cheating actually doesn't work. Like, politics is not like sports. In sports, sure, if you juice up and on steroids, you can probably hit more home runs. That's the cheating actually works in a way. If you cheat on track and field, you're going to be faster. That's just the way it works. But if you cheat in politics, sure, you might win some elections, but I don't think you're going to win a presidential election. You might win local elections if you just cheat and stuff the ballot box and all the vote, engage in voter fraud and all that.
Right.
But if Trump won because he embraced certain ideals that we don't embrace,
right.
But he embraced them, and he was not afraid to be insulted, and he was not afraid to kind of shake things up, even though he's lying. He's not doing what he said he was going to do. Right. But see, that's the thing. His mentality is, well, I tried. I took up, I tried to embrace these bold ideals. So if Bernie became president, which he would have become president if Hillary didn't cheat him and the DNC didn't cheat him, he would have tried to ban fracking, and probably Congress would have stopped him. He would have tried initially for single payer. Most likely Congress initially would have stopped him.
Right.
But it's about trying again and again and again. So I think that, Democrats, they cheat and lose. So
cheating is no guarantee that you're going to actually win anyway, right?
No, they cheat and lose.
Cheat and lose. Hey, look, I want to move. Hey, let's move on to Barrett Brown, man. What you feeling, man? I earlier this morning, actually not this morning, this afternoon, I did a radio spot with Ken Webster Jr. out there at KRPC, Humanity, this Pursuit of Happiness. It's an iHeart Radio. And it was in response to Barrett Brown about his story. He just wanted me to talk about it and just kind of chime in. And I found out just before going on the show that D Magazine reported that Barrett Brown was back now. So he had been released. So this is a great thing. So we're both, we both on the same page on this, that we support all whistleblowers. But what is one thing about the Barrett Brown case that really sticks out to you, that really resonates?
Well, I wrote an article last night in Counterpropa, and then it was in the Huffington Post. And the article title is First They Came for Barrett Brown and Julian Assange. The New York Times is next. and and I think that Barrett Brown is like Julian Assange in many ways. They both risked a great deal, their freedom, to give the public and to give people, human beings around the world, the truth. The really, really, crazy thing with Barrett Brown is that he was charged with a crime where he spent 63 months in prison for sharing a link, and then that in a forum, and then that link contained information that the government said, oh, well, you can't share that link, and basically that's, that led to a whole bunch of charges.
Right.
So it was just actually sharing a link. But he did, it was so amazing. His journalism, I want to read you this. Under Brown's leadership, okay, so hold on, I want to read you this. His journalism actually uncovered really, really dangerous links between corporations and the government. And because of that courageous journalism, he was actually sent to jail. And in part of trying to uncover, this massive corruption, he was sent to jail. You want to know what the Washington Post David Fahrenthold got the Pulitzer Prize for?
What's that?
He got the Pulitzer Prize. I'm trying to find it. I wrote this thing and I'm trying to find it. He got the Pulitzer Prize for proving that Donald Trump is a liar. so
yeah, I think we did mention this guy. Yeah.
So it's like this is the big, oh my God, what an amazing thing, to prove that Trump is a liar.
Gotcha.
Well, big deal.
Right.
That he wasn't as charitable. So David Fahrenthold of the Washington Post, literally, it's unbelievable. The Pulitzer is just for him proving that Trump wasn't as charitable or generous as he was.
Right. So you stand that up next to Barrett Brown, who was in prison for actually doing real journalism, which is something you rarely get to see. I mean, there's some great journalists out there. They're just being damaged or soiled by the reputation of some of our corporate media and our sellout journalists. But the thing about Barrett Brown that really resonates with me, H.A., is him. Right? Like this guy.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. And I don't mean that like glowing praise or to kiss his ass or anything. I'm just saying that so he's incarcerated for 64 months and this guy is like, he's locked up. This is a cell. He said he was in the shoe, meaning he was in solitary confinement. He went through all of this, right? And to the point where he said he spent, I don't know, maybe 50 days or 50, I don't know. But he said he wasn't in it all the time, but he began to realize things and discover things about our justice system and our what is it? Fraternal Order of Prisons or whatever. BOF. Anyway, Bureau of Prisons, BOP. And he started writing about that. Mm-hmm. He started writing about his new situation, and he started digging into that. See, he's a journalist, so if you lock up a journalist on some BS charge, call him a hacker when he never hacked anything, what he's going to do is he's going to go into your penal system, and he's going to start writing again because he's a journalist. And now that he's released, he got released back, I guess it was November or something, and then they pick him back up now after he's done I don't know how many interviews, and they say, well, you can't give interviews, but he's given like maybe 20 interviews since he's been out, because I seen him on TYT with Michael Tracy, friend of the show, who's been on this program, interviewing him. That was 3 months ago. So the reason why they locked him up, they said he was about to, it looked like it was because he was going on PBS, and they said he violated by not getting permission to do interviews, but he's been giving interview after interview since he's released back in November, so or January, I forget when it was. But the other thing is now, with his track record of always being a journalist, I know what he's going to do next, and that is he's going to now start writing about the false arrests that he just went through at the hands again of the authorities, the state. So that's what resonates with me, is that we have real journalists out there who are willing to go to jail, who are willing to then continue to be journalists regardless. And you stand that up, H.A., next to a sellout like Chris Hayes, for instance.
Yo.
You feel what I'm saying? Who makes, or Matt Lauer, who makes, God, Jimmy said the guy makes $500,000. That Matt Lauer makes $500,000 every week or some crazy number, because he makes like $25 million a year. So I don't know what that is. $1 million a week? I don't know. No, it's 52 weeks. So he makes $500,000. Yeah, $500,000. Anyway, so it's crazy. And we have people like Barrett, and I know he doesn't make that much. Like, he works for a small magazine in Dallas, Texas. So I just think it's telling, man, and I know I'm getting a little long-winded on this, but I just want to say, guys, I just am so moved by brothers like that. Like people still have principles and ideals and ethics, and when every day I'm talking about all this failure and all this corruption, then we get somebody like Barrett Brown, man, who's willing to put it all on the line, like Edward Snowden, like Chelsea Manning, like Julian Assange, like Jeffrey Sterling, whose wife I'm going to interview on this show soon. Wow.
And Jeffrey Sterling is a whistleblower, amazing man, but he was sent to prison for retroactively classified information. The information that he gave that New York Times journalist was not classified. And to screw him, they retroactively classified it. Hillary Clinton had 2,000 plus retroactively classified, and then born classified, and then 22 top secret emails, and then special access program intelligence.
Right.
But she was too stupid to get indicted because she unintentionally did it.
But I guess Jeffrey Sterling was too smart, too smart. A black man is too smart who works for the CIA for him to ever claim that he didn't know what he was doing. like that he couldn't see into the future to know that this information would be classified. But I'm not even sure, HA, if they've even, that's the actual stance of Jeffrey Sterling, that he gave that information. I thought he denied giving this reporter the information.
Well, I mean, it was whatever the information that
In
was
question. Okay.
in question. Yeah, it was not classified to the extent they actually, just to hurt him, increased the level of classification just to hurt him retroactively. But I mean, just real quick before we get to the next caller, I want to Barrett Brown. This is The Nation. He basically untangled, quote, a web of connection between the U.S. government, corporations, lobbyists, and a shadowy group of private military and information security consultants that have a lot of power, okay? He goes to jail for that, and then David Fahrenthold gets the, I mean, this is just like, he gets the Pulitzer. This is literally what they write in the Pulitzer.org. For persistent reporting that created a model for transparent journalism, okay, in political campaign coverage while casting doubt on Donald Trump's assertion of generosity towards charities.
Oh my God!
What does that even mean?
Oh my God!
Casting doubt on, so he cast doubt on Donald Trump's assertion of generosity, and he wins the freaking Pulitzer. Really?
Wow. I mean, did you look? Anybody who's been watching any of this cable news, they had to have doubts already. I don't know, man. HA, man, that guy's a. But you know what though? I'm not even mad at Fiendlander or Feinlander. What his name is?
Fahrenthold.
He didn't give himself the award, right?
He didn't. Yeah, but he
didn't make them give him a freaking award. He's probably as surprised as you.
Well, I mean, look, he works for the Washington Post. So, I guess the only reason I bring it up is, more power to him. But the only reason I bring it up is that, I don't mean he's a good guy. He's still an asshole because he wrote that crap. But we still want to hold Pulitzer, these bastards, and more accountable because they gave him the award. Exactly. So, my thing is, if anyone deserves these Pulitzer Prize awards, it's Julian Assange, it's Barrett Brown, it's people that they risk their freedom so we can find out serious corruption and foul play and illegal activity and links between governments and corporations that affect our society.
You know what, HA? It should almost be a punishable offense by mob for people, to like not respect whistleblowers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like those people who are willfully ignorant, who act like they don't, it's different when you don't know. But once you know that whistleblowers put their actual lives on the line to release information to help better society, and you're still like, oh, it's still wrong. I'm with the government. You still do that. We should be to take you outside and beat you with like rubber, like water balloons. They don't really hurt, but it's really degrading. Or just throw toilet tissue on you. Like something like there should be some type of mob justice or something, man. Let me go to another call, man. These people are like, what's going on? I've got a 954 number in the house. 954. What's your name and what's your question?
Tim Black, H.A. Goodman. You guys are the best.
Thank you.
My name is Anthony. My question is for the smaller communities. Talking about bureaucracy, I want to know what you guys think a good strategy would be for those of us who aren't, in the club to make our way up, break through that glass ceiling. Tim, I'm sure you're aware of black women in America feeling the need to, when they go into their children's schools to speak to teachers and things, they have to put on their best clothes and their pearls so that people actually listen to them and take their opinions into account. I grew up poor. I just want to know what you guys think people can do to kind of break into that club without, calling them out and getting thrown in jail like Barrett Brown did or something like that. So thanks for what you do, guys.
Before you go, Anthony, let me make sure I understand the question. You want to know what should people do to break the glass ceiling? I'm not sure I know what that means.
On a small scale,
individually,
in terms of yeah, and I mean I see this greed and the cheating and the way of keeping those who aren't in the club down spreading into everything. I'm a teacher. I see it in the education wing all over the place. So I just wanted to know what you guys thought on a smaller scale we can do to kind of combat the DNC of each of our respective communities, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, thank you, Anthony. That's a deep question, man. Let me see if I can kind of do it justice. HA, you handled the last one first. I'll go. Let me say what I think we have to do when you talk about politics. And I think that's what you mean. How do we break the glass ceiling in local politics? We just have to get involved. There are other people locally who share the same concerns that you have, whether it be a red light in your town, whether it be police, how they handle investigations and reports of police brutality. We just have to use the tools that we have, and unfortunately, those are controlled by the establishment. But to this point, you can use Google Groups, you can use Facebook. We need to first galvanize local communities. That's what I would think we need to do, because as you build numbers, if it's just one individual, you're right, your power is limited. But as you build numbers, people pay attention when you have numbers. The other thing is, for individuals, I would say, bro, as far as your own personal glass ceiling, I think we need to redefine what our glass ceiling is and what our goals are. That has helped me immensely not be a bitter soul, okay? Because once I decided my value is not based on my subscriber number, my amount of money raised, my awareness, what show I got to go on. Once I made my glass ceiling or my goal more in line with who I want to be, which is effective, helpful, a server of the people, always be able to look in the mirror. Those things, once I put currency in that direction and took currency away from what the society tells me I need to judge myself by, it got a lot easier to be Tim Black. It got a lot easier to do what I'm doing. So I hope that answers your question. What you think, H.A.?
Well, I think, it's a really kind of a powerful question, because I used to be a teacher also, and like in every occupation, there are cliques, or there are perhaps a group of people that want to run the show. I think it depends what you want, what makes you happy. If that type of thing doesn't make you happy to be a part of that group, then don't even think of even trying to become part of the group. But also, people of all walks of life respect success, or they respect you being happy. So find whatever it is that can make you happy and that could lead you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Because, I mean, in Los Angeles, or a lot of cities, it's money. If you have a lot of money, then you can do certain things or hang out in certain circles, social circles. But I'm not 100% sure if I understand the question. But I think that if there's a ceiling to be broken, one way to break it is to not even take it seriously. So if you feel the need to impress somebody, you may ask yourself, well, why on earth should I impress these people anyway? They're stupid, or they don't know what they're talking about anyway. One thing, like, for example, when I first started writing, Tim, can I tell you, when I first started writing, I thought, oh my God, if I was ever published in the Washington Post, oh my God, that would be so great. Now I don't give a about that. Okay. Now I don't even want to be, or like, or the New York Times, or when I started writing, I was saying, can you believe even Daily Beast? Can you believe I even thought that I wanted, and then how things go full circle. They write a hit piece on me, and I would never want to be published in Daily Beast. I would never want to be published in establishment papers, because I don't. That's a clique. That's a circle right there. That that circle. The David Farenthals, the Joyanne Reeds, the Keith Olbermans, the Paul Krugman. They would never allow me in their circle.
Right. Look. I think, yeah. So you redefine what the glass ceiling is for you. Let me try to get another call in. 509. You're live with Tim Black and H.A. Goodman on No Sellouts. Who's this?
Happy May Day, Tim and H.A. It's Broken Carpenter.
My brother, Broken Carpenter. What's up, man? What's your question, my friend?
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey, I over weekend I got to read the transcript of the lawsuit, and I am actually kind of buoyed by it a little bit. It sounds pretty good. I mean, I think that the standing issue is going to be where it might get decided. You know, and what do I know? I'm a dumbass carpenter, but you know, it's maybe decided by the standing issue, because everything else seems pretty solid, man. And the judge was asking some questions that seemed, you know, pointed in our direction at least. So I don't know. And Barrett Brown being released, it's two great, you know, for me, it's two great pieces of news in the same week, you know, and I just kind of wanted to see what you guys' opinion of the lawsuit was from the aspect of it being successful or not.
Well, look, man, thank you so much, man. We kind of covered that in the very opening of the show.
But real quickly, that's a great question, and I think that anything that destroys the Democratic groupthink and paradigm is great. And I just think that there has to be justice. They stole that money. They stole $228 million. There needs to be justice. And
as a side note, the judge in that case is a former Democrat, now Republican. Just throw that out there. Nico House, who alerted Jared back to the situation, kind of got him involved and got him on the case as far as looking into the corruption of the DNC. He did a live stream and he communicated that. I wanted to, like, before we end, because I know we're getting down to it, H.A., I wanted to talk a little bit about Trump's Civil War thing. I saw that Trump Civil War comments were trending, man, and I was like, wow. So I went out for a walk and I did a little live stream on it, man. But I want to find out what you think about that.
Well, you know, the Confederate Constitution is the only American document or constitution that has the word slavery. The U.S. Constitution doesn't. And each state in the South, Alabama, South Carolina, they had orders of secession. So when they seceded from the Union, you can read their grievances, and every single one of them talked about slavery. And Alexander Stephens, the vice president of the Confederacy, stated that we're going to create the only country where I think it was like where God's natural, I forgot exactly the way he said it, but where slavery is completely legal because that's, you know, ordained by the Bible or by nature. So it was all about slavery, but, you know, that was the reason for the Civil War. But, you know, conservatives, they can't, I actually wrote an article about that in the Roanoke Times in Virginia. Yeah. But conservatives can't deal with that because it destroys their view of American history. So we're no longer exceptional anymore. Where, you know, the fabric of our history is, you know, based on slavery. Right. In terms of the Civil War, it's no longer a romantic thing to look back on. If you really discuss why it took place, it's no longer romantic, or it's no longer something you could be proud of. So I think that's what Trump did is like the conservatives have done that for a long, long time. Right.
And but it's, you know, I appreciate the fact that you just told it straight. You know, I'm hearing people today for whatever reason. And look, I do my best not to just beat up on Trump just to do it. I think I err on the side of not giving him enough heat, just because I don't want to sound like Seth Meyers and Trevor Noah and the list goes on. But we got to call it what it is. I mean, either Trump is just repeating the same old Republican talking points, conservative, not Republican, conservative talking points, or maybe he just wanted to distract people for a while. Because like, come on, man. As I was looking at this story this morning, all I kept thinking about was Friday. You know, Trump is like Debo. No, man, he's like Debo. Like, instead of saying, we got $50, no, I got $50, he's like, my news cycle. We just broke, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could just, any day he wakes up, he can just say, you know what? I feel like owning the news cycle for the next couple days. Let me say something to piss off the left. And he does it. And it's my mainstream media. I own you. And he just does that. And he just snatches the chains of all other news. So while Trump is doing that, I'm thinking, like, what else is going on, man? Like, what else is behind there, HA? Like, there's got to be something behind Trump that's going on that they don't want us to see. So that's my thing. So either he's a total bigot who doesn't know Andrew Jackson died before the Civil War began. And he just, you know what I'm saying? He just says stuff, and he thinks not knowing stuff is cool. And it was kind of cool for some people under Bush, which is kind of strange. They're like, oh, he's dumb like me. This is great. He's dumb too. I'm dumb. He dumb. We both dumb. I'm dumb like the president. Either that or this Trump is very crafty, and he just loves owning that news cycle, man. And he knows how to trigger them Democrats, them liberals.
Yeah, he does. No, I agree with you. He definitely knows how to trigger.
He's good, man. H.A., man, I got a call in the queue, man. If we can close on this, thank you, brother. 205, you're in the house. H.A. Goodman. H.A. can't hear you, but I can. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tim. It's Stephanie from Tennessee.
All right, Steph.
Are
Hello,
you there? It kind of fuzzed out.
Yeah, I'm here. What's your question, Stephanie?
Okay. To touch real quick on your idea about Trump with the news cycle thing, it did happen at the same time that the DNC lawsuit was going on. And I have noticed a pattern of him doing something outrageous every time there's heat on the DNC. So he may have some deal going on with both sides. That's more my conspiracy theory there I told you about before. But my question, I have two questions for you guys. One is for HA, is he seems to have a lot of legal knowledge from watching his past videos about covering Hillary Clinton's email scandal. And I was wondering if he knew about this, if I'm just being naive about it, misunderstanding, or he might have some knowledge on it. If they're using the defense of being a private company and being able to do whatever they want to do to try to not get fined for this case, does that mean that, like, they can't say that the emails taken from the DNC were government or espionage? Because then they're saying that they're a private club. So then saying that the government, like it's stealing government property, like, don't those two things not match up? Does that make any sense? Like, how can they say that it's like espionage against the government if they're a private company? And the second thing is, do either of you, this is questions for both of you, have an opinion on the French election coming up at the end of next weekend with Macron and Le Pen, and its relevancy to your topic tonight, being that, like, if Le Pen wins, Julian Assange and Edward Snowden will get citizenship, but she's also kind of a really right-wing. So I just want to know your opinions on that, too. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Well, I guess I'll start off just real quickly. The DNC wants to be everything always. So when they lose the election, they want to say that they're linked directly to national security. And if they're hacked, that means the country's hacked. When they cheat, when they take Bernie Sanders' money, or no, the $228 million from Bernie Sanders voters, then they say, well, we created all the rules. The rules are malleable, and we can go ahead and change them when we want to. And, it's a political party, so we're a private entity, and it's our club, and we can go ahead and decide what we want. So you're not entitled to any money, and furthermore, you should have known we'd cheat you. So they're trying to straddle two contradictory narratives or defenses, which is why I think that the judge is going to, continue with the lawsuit and hopefully ultimately rule against the DNC and end the corruption. In France, Le Pen, I speak a little French, and so I watch the debates, and I can understand most of them. And they treat Marine Le Pen like Trump. everybody looks at her like she is right wing. She is like the Trump of France, more so, even more perhaps. But they never expected her to win. And so now it's between her and Emmanuel Macron. I think that I would love to see Julian Assange free and WikiLeaks free. So that I want. In terms of France, the best person would be Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who also would give Assange, the freedom and to live in France. He's the Bernie Sanders of France. His name is Mélenchon, and he's pretty awesome. And he's like amazing. He has a debate with Le Pen, several debates, which are hilarious, because he's just making fun of her, and she's kind of making fun of him, but doesn't want to debate him. It's really funny. But I really don't know what's going to happen. I just kind of look at the French elections as almost a microcosm of what took place here. So I don't really know what's going to take place.
It seems like there's a lot of that going around, AJ, where other countries are now kind of like, oh, we're going to get some conservative people up too, and put that next to an establishment type candidate. And I don't know, man. It's like, do you get that sense? Do you feel that? Yeah,
well, they cheated their Bernie also. So they didn't really cheat him the way the DNC cheated Bernie, but they are not letting the French Bernie Mélenchon, they're not letting him gain power because they think he's too far to the left. Just like Bernie to the DNC was too far to the left. I did a video on this. So the French political culture is kind of similar to ours. They don't like the right wing, or they don't like the conservatives, just like us. But the liberals, the people who are supposed to fight the conservatives, they marginalize and silence their most progressive candidates.
Just like us.
Exactly. So you can't beat the most right without the most left, without the extreme left. That's not going to happen, because extreme people like choices. They go to the supermarket, there's 30 different salsas or hot sauce or ketchup or whatever. They want choices. And if you just say, oh, well, we'll give you Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they're so much better, people are just going to yawn and not wake up for the election day, and then Trump will get reelected. So
I just hope to see this case go to trial, the DNC lawsuit go to trial. I want so badly for the judge not to dismiss the case, and for one reason only, right? Not even like, even if the award, if there wasn't damages, monetary damages, even if that was just $1. I'd be cool with that. Just to have the opportunity to see Debbie Wasserman Schultz be called and put on the stand.
Yes.
Just to see Donna Brazile be called to put on the stand. Just to have Hillary Clinton called to put on the stand. Just to have Podesta put on the stand. Do you realize this? So forget winning. I don't even know what. I'm worried about us winning. I'm worried about us getting to the playoffs. If we get to the playoffs, we got a shot. Okay, so that's the way I see it. And just imagine, just Donna Brazile, just her saying, like, for me to be able to make a video of a clip of her saying, this is the threat to our democracy. They're hacking into our democracy. Just to have her say that, and then have her in court saying, well, we have no duty to have to have fair. I just want to make that video. Just those two clips together. So that, and be able to do one with Debbie Wasserman, then capitulating and telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? To the pressure of actually being under oath and be having jail over her head if she perjures herself. I want that to happen so bad, man. Like I mean, it would make my year, frankly.
Yep. I agree. I agree with you. I think that the depositions will be fantastic and it almost, this lawsuit has to continue because there's such overt corruption.
Right.
And, I don't want to jinx anything, but I think if they get past the motion to dismiss and there's a, ongoing full lawsuit, the DNC WikiLeaks email should be front and center.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Front and center. Because
I'm sorry, HA. Last call,
Yeah,
951.
yeah.
951, my brother. How you doing? Or sister, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey,
Is
how
that
you?
me?
Yes, this is you.
Hey.
Hey, what's your name and
Cool.
where you calling from?
Abraham. I'm from California.
Abraham from
So,
California.
first off, I really respect both of you. But
Thank you.
I just wanted to, it's just kind of out of left field, I think. But I'm one of those people that I guess the DNC didn't believe exist. Hispanic, second generation immigrant, voted for Bernie. I love Bernie, but by the general, I was supporting Trump, and I'm still supporting Trump. And I don't regret that at all. The question that I had was basically, what do you guys think about because what I've seen is whenever Trump comes out and does anything, the left immediately attacks him. Even if it's a good thing, like the thing where he's kind of floating the idea of breaking up the banks right now. Because it's him, the left will attack him. And it's very, very unhelpful to the cause, I think. And I was wondering what you think about kind of giving up on the DNC, because I think they're honestly the last cause. Putting together a new party and trying to push Trump to the left, because I think he is liberal on a lot of issues. I think he's open to universal health care if the right people talk to him about it. I think he's open to breaking up the big banks. I think he's open to just a lot of very liberal issues that I don't think we could get out of the DNC. So I just want to know what you guys thought of that. Kind of, instead of attacking him on everything, when he's right, you openly support him.
Openly support. I hear that. Go ahead,
I think that when Trump is, I don't know if he's serious about single payer or breaking up banks. I don't know how serious he is about these issues. I actually I've been accused of being extremely lenient on Trump or an apologist, but I think that the biggest way he benefits is by Democrats going after him even when he does good things, or Democrats trying to say that he, helped Russia hack the DNC, which is all nonsense. What he's doing now is kind of almost like a wrestling move. So he won the election, and people said, "Oh my God, he's going to cause this, nuclear war. He's crazy. He's insane." Now he's even saying, "Hey, I might go, and I wouldn't mind seeing Kim Jong-un or meeting him." I think that's a good thing. I think that's actually a very good thing he said, to meet the North Korean leader. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the TPP, when he opposed that and when he terminated the TPP, that was a very good thing. I said that was a good thing. Democrats, their playbook sucks, completely horrible, and the DNC hopefully will get the justice. So everything he's doing now is probably for 2020, because he's probably saying a lot of the things. I don't know if he's serious about this, the single payer and all that. I don't think he is. But I think what he's doing is trying to carve a niche for himself, because he's speaking to independents. The gentleman that just called up right now is likely an independent voter. He loved Bernie's stance on war and foreign policy, and he also then voted for Trump, who initially said, I don't want a regime change. He's not a neocon, even with the Syria bombing and the Afghanistan bombing, which I was definitely against. But the Democrats, they're so stupid. They're like, you see, we could have had the same bombing, but without a wall. And so you see, we could have had the same amount of militancy, but without, EPA getting gutted. That's not the point. The Democrats don't get it. So yeah, the Democratic playbook of going after Trump for everything is just a way for them to stand for nothing. So if they rally against Trump, then they don't have to break up banks. They don't have to reinstate Glass-Steagall. They don't have to bring soldiers back home from war. They don't have to push for single payer, because they have this monster that they can. So it's all by design. It's all a flawed, ridiculous, dumb strategy that hopefully will come crumbling down when the DNC gets theirs in court. So
word. Everything HA said. Plus, when you're in a boxing match, my friend, sometimes the contenders, one of the contenders will lean on the ropes and absorb a few body blows.
Yeah.
That's what the Democrats are doing right now. It's, to me, they're just trying to buy a few rounds, a few years. There's so much more money in being opposition than it is in being the person leading. It just is. And not to mention, well, the donations are going to go through the roof because they have the media machine behind them to scare everyone, scare black folks, scare Latinos, scare Muslims, scare the whole world, scare anyone, like scare you into giving money to the DNC. So I think that once you look at it from that perspective of really what's going on with the Trump critics, like HA, man, I've taken a lot of heat. I lost some people and gained some people, lost some people because they just want me to be one way about Trump, and I refuse to just be one way about Trump. But I would tell you this, some of his latest decisions, I didn't care for him at all. Whether it was cutting EPA, cutting HUD, the Moab, the Syria, and then some of the stuff, it's like getting a little old, man. The tweeting, it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. But on policy, I think I will continue to call him out on bad policy, and I will call him when he does good policy, like if he's going to meet with Kim Jong-un. But see, that's just conversation till it happens. You saying he sounds like he might do single payer, that's just conversation till it happens. So when he does those good things, you can check H.A. Goodman's channel and my channel. We'll both be praising him. But when he bombs someone again for no reason, basically just to some trumped up BS, we'll expect to go to our channels and hear us slam his ass because that's what time it is. I mean, if that's what it deserves. So that's, I'll say for me, that's what I will do. So, but we'll see what happens, man. But I'm a lot less optimistic that Trump is really paying attention to the people to the people. Yeah. Frankly, to the people. I mean, he's got a core. The people around him, man. Come on, man. If you looked at his cabinet and you felt optimistic, I got a question. Like, what's your level of optimism? Like, where maybe need to check that.
I think Trump wakes up every day and says, "At least I'm not a Democrat."
At least I'm still rich. He says, "At least I'm still rich."
At least I'm still rich. But he says, whatever I do, as long as I do it so that I'm not an establishment Democrat, it'll work out. Because the Democratic Party, because Hillary Clinton would still lose to Trump even today. That's how effing bad.
And you know what? Just like that. Like the caller said, he said, I voted for Trump, and I don't regret it one bit to this day. Yeah. So, and that's the way most Trump supporters feel.
And the Washington Post, the New York Times, all these people, it's so ridiculous, Tim. They were like, they were trying for like a whole couple weeks. They were like, oh, Trump voters are leaving him. They're really upset with him. You just wait. Oh my God, they're so unhappy. And then there was that poll where 96% of them would vote for Trump again. And not only that, if the election were held today, Clinton would still lose.
That's hilarious, man. Like there's no I don't know, man. Hillary just, guys, she just needs to go away. That's what she needs to do.
By the way, the email scandals is heating up.
You know what? I haven't, dude. Did you do a video on? You did a video on that this weekend, didn't you?
There's a couple. It's heating up, Tim. Yeah, one of the cloud server companies. This Republican in the House, she's like, yeah, let's prosecute him. And one of the cloud server companies, you know that guy Stone Tier, the genius who on Reddit asked,
Stone Tier, okay,
can I have help? So if I'm that guy, I am spilling all the beans right away because Hillary is going to let everyone take the fall. I mean, she'll let everyone take the fall before she does. So it's going to go. They're going to prosecute now because there were emails during the Benghazi period that this tech company was told, do not delete. And of course, what did they do? They deleted. So that's the whole thing. But
wow.
I think the DNC lawsuit is going to be a big watershed, groundbreaking moment. And Zach Haller wrote an amazing piece in my publication Counter Propa. I'm speaking about it on my YouTube channel, H.A. Goodman. And Tim, you got retweeted by WikiLeaks.
Oh, yeah, brother. Gosh, man, I forgot all about it. Yeah, give it up for WikiLeaks, man. So much has gone on since that day, man. But, yeah, that was fantastic. Now, I joined that elite squad of H.A. Goodman and Jordan Sheridan, because I know they retweeted Jordan before. Yeah, man, I'm on a good list, bro. Thank you.
You know, you deserve it, and that was an amazing segment on Barrett Brown. And Tim, you're the man. Thank you so much for today. And
brother, that's it, man. Yeah.
You have a wonderful week, and thank you for everything, Tim. And thanks for everybody watching No Sellouts. Tim and I love you, and we really appreciate everything.
That's my man, guys. Give it up for H.A. Goodman. Go find H.A. Goodman on Twitter. You got it, brother. H.A. Goodman on Twitter at H.A. Goodman Author. H.A. Goodman Author on Twitter. Go find him on Facebook as H.A. Goodman. YouTube channel, H.A. Goodman. And website, counterpropa.com. Counterpropa, as in counter propaganda. Propa. Opa. This is great, man. This is great. Look, guys, ladies and gentlemen, folks, Tim Black's Wolfpack, thank you so much for tuning into the show. I can't stress enough. I want this DNC lawsuit to go to court. Let's get past this first hurdle. And just the idea, just the discovery process, just the depositions under oath where these liars have to tell the truth or face jail. Face jail. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, it's beautiful. For them to have to admit they're full of it, and they've been full of it. That would bring the whole house of cards down, and I'm looking forward to that moment. Hope it happens. So tomorrow, tune into this show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jarrett Beck will be on the show, and we're going to have a good time talking about the DNC lawsuit from the horse's mouth. And then we're going to follow back around with my man Nico House. We're going to get Nico in here. We're trying to work out his schedule and make it fit. And, I think that's all we got. Look, guys, if you value this content, please support independent media. I'm independent media. Support this channel. Become a member of my Wolfpack so that you get all my videos up to date, and you get special stuff, too, I do on the side that's, other videos on topics like, spur of the moment videos that I give my Patreons and some other things we're going to come down the pipe for my Patreon people. So join my Tim Black's Wolfpack by going to the description box on any video, or you can go to my website at timblacktv.com and you'll find out how to support the show. Also, H.A. Goodman has a Patreon as well. Enjoy No Sellouts. Well, you must support H.A. Goodman then. And go give to H.A. Goodman by going to his website or his YouTube channel, and it's right in his link description. And just little things that help independent media. We do this for the people, unlike Matt Lauer and Joy Reid and Chris Hayes and Rachel Maddow. We just try to survive. That's about it. Thank you so much for what you do. Tomorrow will be a big day. And more videos are on the way. Thanks to my moderators, Broken Carpenter, Iron Man Eyes, and my man Momo Pineno, who's also my digital editor. If you have digital editing skills, email me at tim@timblacktv.com because I need to have you join up with us because we need the help, guys. Frankly, we put out a lot of content, and it's very intensive. So we need someone to help out with that stuff and a couple projects. So anyway, that's it. I appreciate you guys. So,
look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Welcome home, Barrett. And, let's see what the DNC does. I'll see you guys. Oh, let me get some shout outs, man. I know it's something like, I'm like trying to waste time. There's something I need to do. I need to shout out the people in the audience like my man, Bon Kim, who called up, and all my callers, man. Give it up for my callers tonight. Not bad. Tomoso, Sandra Lee, Laura, Tracy, Ariel, Trudy Caswell, Angel. That's right. OG Johnson, OG. Go Green says OG. J Bird, we need skills. We do need skills. Shout out to Campsy. There you go. G Cool Gian, and Jenny Land and Mar, Kat Stefani. I got a great group, man. Ernie B. That's right. Jilly Love's in the house. Citizen Debs, AC Yor, Dr. Cat, Camilla. Oh, man, Carmelina Foutoir. Where you been? Dr. Kid. The Broken Combat of M99. Eric, Springfield Progressive. I like that. Snork. Y2K, Low Key. Bruins for Cornbread. Jay Bird. Celeste Christie. Hey, look, man, these are all my people. You got to bear with me. And M99. Grandma Christie. Laura Mountain Gal Pal. Lori. What's up, Lori? Good to see you here. And look, guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I see this opportunity with the DNC lawsuit to kind of like educate so many people. It's not just to rub it in their face. It's to wake up people. You don't realize how I sit around and I'm like trying to come up with an idea of how I can wake more people up. And if this lawsuit just goes to trial, just we just get into discovery. Like, there's some hill bots, man, who are good people. They just have the unfortunate luck to be watching AM Joy for the news and trusting Rachel Maddow. And if we could just slither in like, boo pow, little quick truth, like real quick truth. Maybe some of them will be like, what was that? Was that truth? And maybe some of them will step out of the darkness. And they'll start, finding out stuff about their chosen political affiliation.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
And maybe they'll decide they don't want anybody else to eat their cornbread. Maybe they'll decide that. Maybe they'll decide, oh, cornbread, good for me. I should keep it because it's mine. Yeah, maybe they will. But what's happening now is instead of them deciding that and telling these people,
nobody take no cornbread from me.
Right now, they're giving it away. They don't even know it. Have no clue what they're doing. Just want to be good Americans. Think they're standing up for good social issues. Think they're supporting the party that cares about people. And without realizing that their party is just as corrupt as any other party, if not more so. And I think more so because as I've stated before, the Republican Party did not want Trump, but they got Trump. Why? Because that's what the people wanted. So who's really more corrupt?
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
So yeah, man, the DNC is trying to eat your cornbread, but we've let it go on so long. It is all our responsibility to turn the tide. And look, I'm late to the game. I didn't realize until Obama. I wasn't involved in politics until Obama. I woke up his second term like, this is BS. This was BS. I woke up actually a couple years into his first term. And I said, if he doesn't do this XYZ, that's it. So I woke up then, but so many other people haven't had the opportunity. And here's the thing. We got to wake people up. We got to give them room to wake up. And these opportunities like the DNC lawsuit will get the word out much better than any small independent news media can. Only problem is corporate media won't cover it because they know it will. And that's why independent media must band together. That's why we must stand together and support one another and get over our differences on little stuff. Because if we don't,
it's going to be consequences and repercussions.
It's going to be consequences and repercussions, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one until we meet again. Don't you let nobody take your cornbread. And stand tall, stand strong. Booyah.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am
Thank you for using
TimBlack.com.
Blog Talk Radio.
Tim
Goodbye.
Black.